Hey, what's up, gangsters, vigilantes, and villains, and welcome to a Nerdy Bunch weekly review for The Penguin.
Dum, dum, dum.
And joining me is someone who I don't like to share the spotlight with because I get very jealous. Is my co-host, Andrew. What's up, Andrew?
What's up, David?
I want this all to myself. I don't want to share with you. We're here to talk episode 7 of The Penguin, titled Top Hat.
Top Hat.
It's a little wink and nod for those who know. Little wink. Top Hat. This episode gives us a nice little a nod at the possible visual future of the Penguin as we know him in the
We're
comics.
going towards comic accuracy for sure.
Right. This is the penultimate episode. Last week left us on a cliffhanger. This week continues that cliffhanger, but before that, it gives us a backstory. But before all of that, Andrew, spoiler free, go.
We get some flashbacks that finally answer questions. Not a spoiler. Penguin is a terrible person, right? Go figure. So that was good. It was good to see the specifics of what some of the predictions we've made, right, right here on this channel. So that was good. Some great acting again. Sophia continues to share the spotlight because she had some fantastic scenes, I feel, with the character. And then Penguin, he keeps failing forward in the most effective and intentional way. And it's such a joy to watch him and not be rooting for him, even though he's gonna win. But they all suck in a special way. So it's just crazy to be not rooting for the MC, but be happy to see him kind of climbing the ranks or taking out his enemies, right? Like I said, I think they sliced the flashbacks well. I don't think it was, sometimes it can like drag on too much or it feels like it's not important enough. But I feel it was actually a very great showcase of like who Penguin is deep down, right? On a deep level. So I thought this was a strong episode. This show has been fantastic. Probably one of my favorite shows this year, I'm not gonna lie. And I guess I'm similar to Agatha. I'm not worried at all that they're gonna stick the landing. Like, that's not my issue. But I am super curious as to how we're gonna kind of bring this all to a fruition. I have some guesses that I won't say till we start to spoil. But solid episode. For sure.
No, I think this episode does a good job of reminding us that this is a show that, because of the nature of the show, the character that we know from previous iterations, we know the trajectory of this character.
Yeah.
What the show does a good job of is showing us how, right? And we don't. This show doesn't necessarily give us surprises that we haven't figured out along the way. But again, the surprise is how. Right? And the how of it all is what's interesting. We know that Oz is going to win certain battles again because he's the key character. But again, how?
And how so funny.
The how it surprises us in interesting ways. And we get characters who make decisions, or things happen to them that are like, oh shit, didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Even if the end result is expected.
Yeah.
Right. And as always, what I love about this show is when you have two characters who haven't meeting for the first time. Always great moments. We have one of those that happens in this episode. What I like as well is that even though we get flashbacks that give us context for Oz, it isn't a flashback with the goal of redemption or empathy.
not at all. Quite the opposite.
You're not like, but if I was, I get no. Absolutely not. It actually doubles down. Oh, you're like this guy from like day one.
It's just been terrible.
It's him. He may have been goaded on in certain instances and situations, but at the core, it's him.
He's been Penguin all along.
It's him. I really enjoy this episode, and it makes me excited. I have some nitpicks. I will go into it. I think I have some nitpicks because certain things happen in this episode that inform us, but not in ways that we didn't really know, and ultimately we end up at the end of the episode almost at the same place we ended up last episode. without going to any spoilers. Again,
Yeah.
only a minor nitpick, not enough
Yeah.
to say I didn't enjoy the show. It's just there's just little things, and it in that sense, it just made it seem as if you can feel where they're like, we need to keep this for the finale.
Yeah.
You could feel that. Again, not a bad thing,
Yeah.
but you could feel that, and I feel like
Yeah.
someone like us who pay attention to these things, we would feel it more than
Mm.
the average viewer. But
Yeah.
I still felt it. But let's get into it. Full on spoilers. Andrew, the flashback, you mentioned how, they didn't tread the water then. I think I agree with you there. I thought the whole episode would be flashback,
Yeah.
really treading the water. But I love that it was just pre-title sequence.
Yeah.
Right?
Like succinct.
Right. And I really enjoyed that. I thought the kid playing young Oz, spot on.
He nailed it. He actually
So
nailed
good. I was like, where the hell did they get this kid from?
Mm-hmm.
So perfect. We kind of it wasn't crazy for us to theorize that Oz probably killed his brother.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a big surprise. But just seeing the how,
Oh, the how, man.
what did you think?
Yes. It was. It's it's different to know and expect that. I figured he was a terrible person and he killed them for a selfish reason, right? Because maybe it's knowing the character's history a little bit, right? Envy and jealousy are the thing with Oz, and his mother's love, what I think is the only thing that he probably finds true in this world. I guess she I mean, only a mother will love you like that, no matter what, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the specifics of it was layered, right? Like I could feel, little pangs of jealousy when his mom was showing the brothers love. So like you said, shout out that actor, right? Because I could really feel him almost being like, no, I'm going to stay home and help mom. Like, no, mom, even his mom's like, go out, please, exercise, right? Like he's such a mama's boy. But I guess it shows how terrible he is because his brothers were mean a little bit, but kind of just kid brother mean, very quick, because they weren't calling him Penguin or making fun of him, right? It was just more like, oh, come on, and then they were about to apologize.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, okay, fine, he locked them in there. He got home. A couple times he looked back at the door, right? Like, I wonder where those guys are. And I think just the fact that he went through with it, he didn't run back. He didn't be like, Mom, I think, Bill and Timmy are he didn't even for a second.
I think I messed up.
There was a twinkle in his eye, right? When he's like, wait, I get mother all to myself. Which solidifies this Penguin thing of he will justify anything for his selfish reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But it's crazy to see that from literally from the jump.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a couple of things you bring up, with the brothers. There are comics where we see that he has brothers and he kills his brothers in the comics. But in those comics,
slightly
the
they're more mean.
Exactly. They're framed as mean, making fun of him, teasing him, bullying him to a sort. I saw none of that in this. Even when they're playing their game, it's almost like kids. They didn't think about the fact that he can't calm down the level.
Yeah.
And they
apologize.
Yeah, exactly. And even the older brothers trying to warn him, say, Rex is a good guy. He's being a good older brother, offering advice. You see nothing wrong with that, which just makes it that much more
sinister.
Sinister. Because you can always imagine that. Okay, fine. Let's give benefit of the doubt. When he locked them in, it wasn't I'm trying to kill my brothers. It was I'm locking them in.
Yeah.
But like you said, as the rain and as the night goes on, that look in his eye, it's that realization,
wait.
And that's when he becomes evil.
Exactly.
Not necessarily the locking, it's in the house. He could have said something, he could have spoken up and said, I think I messed up. And he's kept it to himself. He's like, no, I'm keeping mother all to myself. And you even see, I think you touched on this in the previous episode, you even see that little bit of jealousy when his mother's showing affection towards Vic. Right,
it happened. He was like, "Mother's love is for me, me,
mine." I loved how also they visualized the deaths of the brothers. Going from just seeing the door close and the brothers making those banging to the silence,
and then to the water and the silence, and you're like, so I'm they got me because when Chef's kiss at the end of the episode when he had to hide in that same tunnel when Sophia's bomb went off. But I was 100% sure he was gonna, wake up and see the skull of his brother.
Can I tell you? I thought I thought we were going to see skeletons too.
Oh my gosh! I'm maybe I'm disappointed. I don't know. Was that too is that not realistic?
Well, yeah, because in all that time, and those are flood tunnels, so it could have been washed away.
Probably, right? It's been a good couple of decades. But sorry, the fantasy watcher in me I was literally just waiting for him to open his eyes to two skulls just looking at him. Oh my goodness!
I love it. We also see in a flashback later in the episode, we also see the narrative that he's told about his mom taking him to dance, which is a nice little touch. And then she's just like, and again, you see the moment the mom was just like, promise me, I don't live this, I don't need, he gets his selfish streak from her.
Yeah.
Right. And you understand a lot of his motivations, talking about she wants a penthouse. It's not like case of him saying, I had a great mother, I want to give her things. No, she was like, you need to get me these things. You need to make sure, like, she's putting the weight on him. And he's happy to carry that for her. Right. It's almost this kind of abusive relationship.
It is. And Sophia had a crazy line, after Oz's mom. What's his mom's name?
Frances.
After Frances she was being so rude. Like she was giving Sophia, she had Sophia on the ropes with that banter, right? Until Sophia was like, oh, thank God your sons ain't here to be monsters like this one. And the acting, I have to shout out Frances again, because the transition from like insulting to like the seizure to the seizure or pseudo seizure to when she went to the window, like her recounting I guess her trauma from because that's so up. Imagine just like thinking your kids went to the movies and then you just never ever see them again. Nobody, Oz is terrible.
Seriously,
and that whole time he
watching her freak out, calling the police, going crazy. Because of course you're going crazy. All of this, and just Oz is just like la 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 la.
Can we watch some TV, Mom?
So but then again, we learned about Oz. You can see this also at the beginning of Oz nature in terms of he will lie to himself so much that he believes that is truth. Right? Because at this point, I don't believe that he believes he's lying when he tells a story about his brothers. It's almost like, and we'll get into it later, what happens with Sal, right? He has told himself that he won, he defeated the battle, and every time he tells that story, he's not thinking, I'm lying right now.
Yeah.
That's
I guess that's his. I mean, it's definitely a psychotic problem, right? Like he is delusional to the core, and will justify anything to himself, right? Like you're right. He does believe the narrative that he's framed, right? But like that's the problem. That's the exact issue we're discussing. So you're a psycho.
Yep. Let's talk about Sal and Oz. What I love at the beginning of this sequence is when Oz finds Vic, unconscious. And he's just like, saying, you got to get out of here before he gets here. I'm thinking Oz is being great. He's being nice. And I read, nope. He said, go get me an army. Yeah. He needs him to go get him something. Yeah. But the whole sequence, you have Sal beating on Oz. He wants to release a lot of his frustrations on him, and ends up with Sal dying in an unexpected way. What did you think of the whole situation between Sal and Oz?
To work from the back to the front, I respect a little bit the way he died, just in terms of a viewer standpoint, because this dude wasn't Sal stabbed or something, right? Yeah. Like he was stabbed to escape prison. He's not in. He shouldn't be in peak physical condition or anywhere near it, right?
And he's an old man.
Exactly. So I feel like the mix of that, like the chasing, the adrenaline,
his wife and kid died.
The trauma. Lord knows what he's eating in Sophia's house. I don't know if I trust those people.
Also, fun fact: I was listening. Sorry to cut you off. I was listening to a podcast of the creatives, and they said in the previous episode they kind of hinted it in the background. You see Sal taking blood pressure medication.
Do you?
Yep.
That's a nice little touch.
So he already had heart problems beforehand.
Oh,
So
that's
stuff.
fantastic.
Yeah.
See, now I like it even more. But it was just so funny because I'm pretty sure he was gonna win that fight.
Oh, he was
That's
winning.
Sal. Like Sal was ready to be declared victor, and then just again, I don't know if I say shout out Colin Farrell or shout out Penguin because his immediate reaction was just so hilarious. He was
What you
so
doing?
displeased. He was like, you can see how upset he was. He's doing so well to just keep this appearance of this is a person who cares so much about images, right?
Right.
He didn't just want to say that he won that battle, right? Like he wanted for himself to believe that he could defeat Asao, which
Mhm.
somehow life has said, yeah, you can't.
Right.
But you're Penguin is almost like the cockroach after a nuclear explosion, right?
Mhm.
That just survives everything, but it's not really because you have redeemable qualities. It's kind of just your perfect composition. Just I don't know, keeps you alive and somehow thriving, right? So, I thought it was hilarious, and my goodness, my favorite scene, I think, this whole episode was when he was on the floor and after Sal took him to his base, his underground base, and he was kneeling down and he just first of all he tries to pin Sal against Sophia
As always.
just like standard like come on Sal really, and I'm like this guy doesn't give up.
That's just
But-
reflex at this point.
And then I guess when it was time to attempt to take back the base, right, and his worker was gonna put off the lights. And then, how can he be like, does your wife use special hairspray?
I didn't expect the smell. Did she use special hairspray? She
Like,
went
it's
up
like
just
she went up like a tinderbox.
Like,
I was
damn.
like, no, there's no. I love how Sal was like, just get me a lighter. Like I am literally gonna burn this guy right now.
And it's funny because like Sophia's men had to like hold him back and everything like that. And he's just like, ah.
So realistic though, because I too would be like, yeah, nah.
It shows you how similar he is to his mother, because when she's talking to Sophia, she
Sophia.
says something similar. She goes, "You don't know my son. He's gonna roast Sal like he did his lady and their boss's son, and he's coming for you."
Like Jesus, and then like he's gonna put a bullet in your head, and I'm gonna dance on your grave,
right? was
just like that lady, the famous one in the shows they like, and it's just like so. I think I love seeing the what is it, Penguin and Francis, and then Francis and Sophia, and then kind of Sophia and Sal, right? It's almost like it's almost like the the parent and the kid. I mean, Sal isn't Sophia's parent, but he's almost acting as a father figure in her current Gigante confusion. And I do love how Francis was like, all these names you're saying, Gigante, Maroni.
Same thing.
Listen, girl. I used to cook the books back in the day with the best of them. I've been here, and it's literally all the same thing, right? And again, just Sophia, fantastic acting. I just have to touch on it again because her scene with Julian, right, when she was realizing that she also was just falling into the same cycles of what Carmine and the rest are, and then like her breakdown, but like panic, but like not panic, just like. Her portrayal is so good. I don't want her to die. Can I just say, I don't know what they're planning, and I don't know how it's possible for her to not die, but...
He put me into an institution. The moment I came out, I went right back into another one.
I was
Love
like,
that.
Damn.
Love that. With Sophia, between talking to Rush, talking to Francis, and talking to Gia, her nephew, I love the realization that she comes to, like you said, and even noticing that she herself started gaslighting Gia.
Yeah.
The same way her
same
dad
way Cameron was doing
her.
to her, and it's like,
oh no, you didn't see that. That's not what you saw.
What, you think I? Wait, you really think I, the only survivor who took you to the basement that same day, would kill them all,
and then has her cast out into the system? Same thing.
Didn't even like say bye, Gia. Like be strong. We're just like
bye, Gia. How about you put her somewhere, like take her out of Gotham, give her money. You have so much money. Take her to send her to Europe to some good schools or somewhere good. It's some shitty orphanage in Gotham. Like, what are you doing? No. Left by herself. I love when Sophia walks in and the orderly lady's looking at her. She's like, "Thank you." Like,
Like, because I was like, because the Gia girl saw her and like turned away. So if I was a worker too, I'd be like,
True.
ma'am,
True.
I'm gonna need you to not close the door. Thank you.
You speak of not wanting Sophia to die, and I think with Sophia's kind of turn in this episode in terms of realizing that what am I doing? I'm just playing my father's game, the game that he wanted me to play.
Yeah.
I think there's a possible ending where she's just like, you know what? After obviously making Cobb suffer some way or attempting to make Cobb suffer, Oz suffer, I think she just leave.
She can leave to Italy with Gia and
Yeah,
have
yeah,
a
and just like you know what, I
a
don't want
Christian
this.
Bale Batman.
Right. Like I could see
drinking
her
coffee.
being like killing Francis and then saying, "Oz, you can have the city. You've lost. I don't want this city.
Yeah,
I'm making you suffer."
because
And leave.
100% Francis is dying. I mean,
Yes, Oz is going to have some kind of suffering, even if he wins.
I feel like Oz. I don't know. Oz may let's gentleman's wager, because Oz may end up killing his mother, but I don't know in what circumstances. I just keep thinking back to the fact that she asked him to end it if we ever get there, and maybe they were just saying that. Maybe it was just to show the depth of where she's gotten to. But I'm just like, I don't know. I could see Oz being like, if anybody's gonna kill my mother, I'm gonna do it. Right? I literally see that from him. But I like what you're saying too, because I love Sophia by the end of this episode. How she's just like, I'm actually playing new games now. Like,
Yep.
no, I'm going to blow up your little base, and I'm gonna keep your mother. Like, what did you think? You really thought I was just gonna show up there? Come on, dude.
And if somehow you survive, come find me.
Yeah.
I love that. Let's go
Right.
back to that for a second. I loved how that was played out, by the way. The fake out, because I too was ready to see a dead Francis body in the car. Because at first I was thinking, is it a bomb?
I was 100% sure it was Francis.
For a split
I was
second,
so wrong.
I was bomb. And then I was like, no, it's Francis. Because the way it's played out, I was like, no, it's definitely Francis.
Yeah.
And then I remembered, oh shit, but that guy ran away. But maybe he's running because he's pissed for retaliation.
Yeah.
He ran because of a bomb. I thought that was done really well. And Oz, such a dick.
The acting
to his men. No warning to his men. He's just like, nope.
Isn't that funny? I was thinking about that. He was like, why those away?
And they're like, Oz, what is it? What is it? Not even like,
what is
get out, it's a bomb. Not even any of that. Like, after all this talk of like, he talks about
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Right.
I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful to you all. You stuck behind me in my toughest time, my hardest days. And literally all he had to do was say bomb. Right?
That's it. That's
like,
it.
Just
because everyone understands context, you'd understand. Bomb. Nope. Just leaves the wall.
He was like, I'm not gonna risk them taking my hiding spot. That's probably what he thought.
Right.
So terrible. But it's been. I'm almost sad this show is ending. I wish this would bring back the days of 24 episode seasons, man.
Right.
Like I don't mind. I'll take slower episodes, because I just feel like there's so much that I think they're working on a Penguin too, right? Or let me not say working, but the conversations are in the works.
Well, conversations in the works. Matt Reeves, the director of the Batman, has said the conversation in the works to expand this universe.
Yeah.
So even other characters. We're going to get in TV shows and things like that. So we shall see how that goes. Any stray things that we haven't spoken about that you liked? I liked when Francis was like to Sophia, this place has no personality. What, you afraid of color or something? Just talking all that shit.
And then even like she made Sophia shake a few times. When she mentioned like, get a tattoo on your ass if you really want to piss off your father. Sophia just like,
right.
This heifer.
Was it just me? Again, this is my nitpick, but it's a silly nitpick. When they're prepared for Sophia to come to the base, and then Oz gives a speech to his men, it's like, okay, hide. Some of the way those guys were hiding, I felt that if anybody was watching, you would have been seen. I don't know. It was just me. I was just like, come on,
It's
guys.
like I'm hiding behind my mic.
Seriously. Like I was like, duck, I can see the top of your head still. Like, what are you doing?
No, or like you guys holding the shotgun on.
Right. and then when everything's quiet, you're like, oh, what's going on? I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Now they've heard you.
Like, what are you doing?
But it bodes well to the fact that, like, I mean, these are not trained assassins. This isn't the league. This isn't the League of Shadows. He's hired.
It's true.
To,
It's not.
it's some guys that were cutting up some drug that some dude told them to come and make in a place that's really dirty. I'm happy that Sal Moroni kind of just reminds us that, like, yeah, I know it's a great base and, like, it's fantastic to have that underground tunnel, but it's probably really dirty and it probably stinks.
And they've made no attempt to clean it up over the last at least a month or so.
And trust me, they have enough money to do at least a little clean, or, like,
right?
Line it with some tarp or something. I don't know.
Right.
But least of his worries.
I really loved. I mean, I think in general the show, the score and the sound design has been excellent. I loved when Oz comes out the rubble and his ears are ringing, but you don't realize until he clicks out and then it comes out.
That click was amazing.
So well done. I was just like, oh.
And I love that even in that moment, he's the cop, because that was the cop, right?
Yeah.
Who says Penguin? He's like, what'd you call me? Like, imagine all that. It's like, what'd you call me?
And it's funny you say that. That's always been a trigger to him, right? In terms of
no matter what,
people making fun of him, right? It's the reason why he killed Alberto, right? Instantly,
yeah.
He reacts and then he has to deal with it. And you realize that that's been there since his childhood. He feels his brother's making fun of him. He reacts, but he reacts. Something happens. He has to deal with it. He reacts. Something happens. He has to deal with it. And it's as much as that's when he loses control, right? And that's when he kind of learned the skill. I guess he forced himself to learn the skill to, like you said, fall upwards because of shit that he created himself.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the residents of Crown Point.
Crown Point, because they just got their shit rocked. Pardon my French.
Like all these like, again, like we talked about all the time with all these villains thinking that they're doing this so they can take control of the city. I'm like, what are you doing? You're hurting, like, even Sophia, this bomb. When I saw the explosion, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, when you saw it from the sky and then you saw, like, the intersection of the road, I was like, oh. No! Shit. That's a lot of bomb. I thought it was like a cheeky little, like,
right, like contained to the tunnels.
Yeah, just like some car parts moving around,
like a little shake, a little tremor.
But I think what I'm really enjoying about this is for me, knowing that this is the Batman. This is the Batman world. It just, like, it emphasizes why, if I was Batman, I'd be like, I gotta beat up these clowns. like you guys are literally messing. Yeah, like, you know what, you know what. So I can't wait for their next interaction, right? And at what point? Because I feel like, if I assume Batman, like we've said, is dealing with other things at this time or whatnot. But, like, this explosion is one of those things that would probably rank highly in his investigate quickly category. Like what's going on again? Come on, Crown.
But again, it is Gotham, sir.
Just like.
But what's interesting, what's funny, because you bring that up about Batman. I was looking at some internet rhetoric, and it's so funny how what people consider to be plot holes, because people are like, how come we didn't see Batman? I'm like, how much time did we spend after the explosion in that location? How quick do you think Batman would arrive? Like, it's like we spent maybe at most 10 minutes from the explosion or something like that. Like, Batman's not going to just turn up, right?
It's not the Flash, y'all.
Right.
Just remember.
Right. And again, this is Gotham City. I don't know that this is the worst thing that's happening right now in the city.
It's not. But who knows? That's why I think I'm curious, like I said, because it even if it's one of those that even if he's not, like, coming to handle it right now,
It's on the map.
Yeah, he, like I said, he has it's slowly climbing up there that okay, this Oswald dude is appearing around a lot of dead bodies and commotion.
And again, the context that we know is that eventually Oz becomes a Batman villain,
hmm
right? So you have to plant those seeds of that kind of
How you go
journey
from
to
a
get there.
driver to being in Batman's
Right.
villain cast.
Right, exactly. Not everyone makes it to, just because you're a Gotham City dealer doesn't necessarily mean you become prime, you know,
Um,
A-list Batman villain,
like a
right?
named villain.
Where Batman recognize you and says like, "Who? I don't know you." Anything else that we haven't mentioned?
Just little things, like little Oz. I like even just like they showed that he's a cheat from the jump. He when they were playing hide and seek, and he was like 1, 2,
Right,
3,
right.
4, 10, like,
Like, okay,
like, which I assume he's gonna say is because of his leg or because he
right,
can't move as
exactly.
fast, right? Like it always, Sophia kind of did that when she was talking to Francis, like Oz. You can see that he almost uses his leg limp as an excuse to
hmm
do absolute rubbish,
hmm hmm
right? And I just found it so funny just to see, even just playing a game with your brothers, you're cheating. Like, come on, bro. Like,
Seriously.
just. And then even when he got home, how quickly when his mom was like, "Oh, where are your brothers?" Like, "Oh, I went to the movies," and it was like, "Oh, with the money Rex gave him,"
hmm
and the brother was literally going to give that to the mother.
Yes, exactly,
It's
exactly.
like you, fam.
And it was Oz who wanted to go and spend it. He was like, "No, I'm going to give it to
like
mom."
like like the ability to just like twist the truth and just live like happily within
hmm
himself.
hmm
I think it was, I think that's why I enjoyed the slice of flashbacks just being
hmm
not too long, but showing us enough of his like inner boy.
My only nitpick, and this I was saying at the beginning of the episode, and again, this
Mhm.
is just very much of a nitpick of selfishness because
Yeah.
I want more. Is that I did wish we spent more time throughout the show understanding his built up of
I was,
hatred, right? Because again,
yeah.
because his brothers weren't outwardly evil, and there's a lot of him making things up, and because we already kind of sussed out that he killed his brothers.
Yeah.
This episode, outside of essentially taking Sal off the table, right, and destroying Oz's base,
Yeah.
doesn't give us much more than we already knew,
Yeah. Well, true.
so to speak, right? Again, we just see the how he kills his brothers,
Yeah.
and we get the sense of the why. But I wish we spent more time, and again, not necessarily this episode, but the season, to
Just like
read.
they could have done these slices like every other episode or something,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know,
yeah, yeah,
maybe like
yeah,
the 3 middle episodes.
yeah.
Just, you're right, to give us more context during.
Yes. So we understand that this is just a one-off episode of
Mhm.
his in terms of how he views his brothers and things like that, and because his brothers, again, they were good to him, so it's not like, oh, there's a separation where they left him out of things. He left himself out
Mhm.
of things, if anything. They were
Yeah.
and again, it's more about selfish nitpick because I liked seeing those flashbacks. I like seeing, and I wish we saw more of context of the mother. Again, we get this illusion that she worked for Rex as well.
Yeah.
Mind you, actually, I do like, speaking of Rex, I did like the fact that Rex didn't seem as larger than life as Oz had described him,
Yeah.
which is in a good way for me as the audience, because again, it speaks to how Oz tells these grand stories, right?
Like
It was like
it
Rex
was
knows
like
everybody.
a gold painted car and some stacks of cash. Like,
He just looked
okay.
like a traditional, stereotypical,
Like,
you
okay,
know,
that's
yeah,
normal.
yeah, nothing that was out of this world, right? Nothing that's crazy.
Like he was fanboying so hard.
Yeah, so hard.
Like, bro, like, calm down.
He's like $50.
Rex,
like
Rex.
shouting his name while Rex is like doing stuff. He's
Rex
like
is like,
Rex.
I love how Rex completely ignored him because, like,
Right.
why would he answer that right now? Like, who are you, little boy?
Right. And you can see touches that Oz smokes his cigars. Rex was smoking a cigar. I can kind of allude that was inspired by Rex. I really liked just funny moments. I thought was hilarious. When Sal and his men with Oz come into Oz's place, you have one of the goons, Oz's goons. He's like, everybody get back. Get shot straight
Yeah.
away.
It's like
I was like, ah, well, you helped out a lot, I guess.
even the first guy who walked out with a gun, I knew he was not gonna shoot a single
Right.
person.
He looks out and he walks out with like such gusto.
Like, so if you're serious, how about you walk out aiming the gun, right? No.
He had this walk of like, these stupid kids trespassing. I'm gonna give them a telling.
Yeah.
Just get shot.
It's just too funny.
I think that's everything. Oh, I love the touch when the brothers were cutting back and forth from the brothers screaming in the tunnel to Oz
Yeah.
with his mother watching the movie, and it's raining outside.
Mm,
There's a
so
moment
sad.
he looks out the window, and there's a cup of toys, and the toys are drowning in the cup. And I was
Oh,
like,
really?
oh
What?
shit! Yeah,
gotta
there's
go find
toys in the
that now.
cup. John, I was like, oh, great symbolism, great, because you're not
Wow.
going to show two kids drowning. So you're gonna hint at it. I thought it was really well done.
Nah, that's one of the loudest silences I've heard in a long
Oh
time.
my goodness, deafening
With the
silence.
with the water just falling through the. Because if water is coming through the tunnel door that
Yep.
much,
And it's full. Mhm.
Go figure.
Mhm.
It's like he didn't even feel bad for a second. They didn't
No,
even show
that's
him
the
be
thing.
like,
There wasn't even a moment of like worry or concern.
like you said, it was literally the opposite of like, wait, why didn't I kill them sooner?
Right.
Wait, I
Right.
could have had mom alone all this time.
This whole
Oh my
time.
gosh. Oh my.
I did like
come on, Oz.
I did like that intro moment where Oz is with his mother, and then the brothers come running in, and then you're thinking like Oz, mom's gonna tell them off. Ha! He has a smirk on his face, like, haha, they're gonna get in trouble now.
Yeah.
And then she's playing with them, and he's just like,
And
what
she's
the hell?
like, she's like Zombie Game 2, and he's just like, oh my god.
It's like, no, that's not what you're supposed to do.
Hmm.
Mother, you're supposed to do this. And again, I wish there's one thing of being like I want to know what bonded him, because he's not only child,
Hmm.
right? So what bonded him to his mother so much specifically that he wanted her to himself, right? Because I don't know if I see it's because of his disability, right? Because it doesn't hold him that much, and it's not like it didn't showcase us that things like, oh, the brothers go out all the time, they're doing all these crazy things, he can't join them.
Yeah, like
You
if
know-
you couldn't go out with them, it'd be
Yeah,
more.
and he's spending all the time at home, he never goes out with
Yeah.
them, but mum encouraged him to go out with him. Right?
Yeah.
That's what we saw. In fact, he was out with them to work out his leg and things like that. So I wish we saw reasons why he didn't bond with his brothers and bonded with his mum,
Yeah.
where his brothers were open to bonding with him. Right. So that's my again part of my nitpick of I wish we saw more of that.
Yeah.
I think that's it for this episode.
Yep, that covers it. Looking
Yes.
forward to the finale.
Finale.
I'm just.
What do you
sorry,
want? What do you
after
want?
that-
Before it goes,
I
what
was
do you
about to
want
ask. Damn
from the
it, I'm gonna
finale?
ask you first
Okay.
because what do I want in terms of want? I don't want Sophia to die. just feel like
Can I
it's
tell you
so
who I
sad.
don't care for? I wanted to, but I don't care for Rush, and I don't know if that's by design or not.
Also same, but I wonder if like am I meant to care for him?
That's what I'm
Is
saying. I
that-
don't know if I'm supposed to care or not care. He just every time I see him on screen, I'm just like,
Do you think he's going to evolve into a
well, that's the
a
thing.
named character?
If he just ends up getting killed, I'm just like, well, what was the point of him? And the only way he can redeem himself as a character to me, an interesting character to me in this story, is if he's being set up for someone down the line. Because if you just kill him, I'm like, well, what was the point of him?
Yeah.
All right, in terms of bringing him back and think that could like, okay, yeah, what have we seen him do? Interrogate Mama Cobb, but we didn't see that process. We just saw the end of it. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, why
he was about to cook that brain though. It was literally
he's like, oh man.
literally it was mid kitchen, man. It was
Oh,
poor
man.
poor I want to say poor lady, but I don't know. I agree. Like I but he is slightly interesting, right? Like I like how when he came to tell Sophia about Gia, and then he comes up close and is like, "Look,
I have a friend.
I could talk to her." It's like,
my friend has said
So-
she's gonna say.
well, wait, what are you saying? Streets are saying that friend is Harley Quinn, Dr. Harlan Quinzel, or Streets
mean-
are. Let me not say Streets are saying. Streets are snatching at straws,
Yeah,
As-
okay,
as-
yes.
as we love to snatch.
yes. Yes. I mean, she would be around at this point because Joker's also in prison, as we saw at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
Batman. So she would be around. But yeah, I just hope. Again, I like the actor. I just hope that his character goes somewhere
It's not a waste.
interesting, and it's not just like next week he dies. Like where does he go? I'm
Yeah.
curious. I'm curious for
Oh,
that.
and then
I'm
I
curious.
want a twist also.
Do you think we will get any kind of hint of Batman by the end? Like not even Batman, but like a hint.
All I need is a batarang, man. Like, do you know what I mean?
Bat
Like,
signal in the sky.
or even like, Penguin. Let's say Penguin wins and he gets back to his base of operations and he sees a batarang through the like control panel. Yeah,
Yeah,
just like come on, man. Like I'm snatching the straws here.
It's
I
like
know.
it's like the end of Batman Caped Crusader
Mhm.
when Batman, was it Falcone? Oh no, was it? I forget who it was at the very very end. Or was it Maroni? And it was one of the
I
crime
definitely
families.
remember.
And then Batman through the window and is outside. I see you. I'm watching
like-
you.
Just like watching, and he threw that from far, but like literally. So I don't even need Batman's silhouette or
No,
person to
no.
be there, but like just anything that's identifiable. And if they don't, whatever, so be it. But it would almost feel like a missed out Easter egg because
Yeah.
why the heck not?
Yeah. Or someone's like the bat. Like someone
Mhm.
should say the word the bat.
Yeah.
I would take that even if someone's like the bat is coming or something like that. Yeah, I'm curious if they're going to go big in terms of the larger Gotham Batman narrative. Are we going to see, other Gotham PD shit? What if Commissioner Gordon shows up? I don't.
I
think so,
think a Gordon
but
even
I
like
could take
even
that.
even if it's not a Batman, maybe they want to stick to their guns of like
Yeah,
go away people. There's no Batman here, but like even if at the end of it you see knock knock, Commissioner Gordon, we need your help. He's
Yeah.
not commissioner, is he right now?
Yeah, no.
I don't
Well, I
think
think
so.
he is because the commissioner died, right? The commissioner got killed in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if he got promoted
The
yet.
job yet, yes, but
Yeah.
at least that would be a good way to pull in some of the wider bat cast without directly touching. Hey man, even maybe shout out Bruce Wayne.
Exactly.
We could see a Bruce mention without Batman himself
on the
being
news,
mentioned.
a news report or something. Yeah, maybe.
Penguin could even say, "All right, guys, now we're thinking bigger. We're gonna go rob the richest man in Gotham,
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne." Dum. I take that too. So
Yeah,
I think honestly, what I want is I want a twist, right? It's definitely been a show where it's like you said, definitely more about like the how than the what per se. And even how is Penguin going to get out of this? How is he going to do this? But I don't know. I wouldn't mind a twist. I don't even know what a twist could look like.
At least
maybe with Victor. Where is Vic?
Oh, do you know what I think? I was thinking because again, I think Vic's gonna do a Falcon in Avengers Endgame and be like, on your left, come back with an army.
Mhm.
Because he says go tell the other gangs, bring them, come with an army. I think he's gonna come with an army and just be like, because Osby by himself against Sophia and her people,
Mhm.
and Sophia now has Sal's people,
Yeah.
right? And so I think Vic's gonna come back just like with a full on army. What I want this season to end in a way that I don't want to necessarily end with a tease of Penguin season 2, but I want it to end with a tease of the larger narrative of the Batman connected universe is still ongoing.
Okay, yeah.
That it's there's still more. It's not. I don't want that finale, that kind of finality where it's like and end, right? It's the story is still going, it's moving, and I don't want it necessarily be at end where it's like and Penguin is now the crime. No, I want something that a breadcrumb that's just like this is the possible direction we're taking the future of this story.
The franchise, yeah.
That's what
I think they have a few options. Again, I mean, they've treated the material so well up to now, and I feel like one of the hardest things to do is work with IP on the level of like a Batman, and then not have Batman in it, but still be on the outskirts of where Batman is. And I think they've done a very good job, honestly, of making us care more about these sub players in Gotham, because I just keep thinking if Penguin can get this treatment, like very hopeful thinking. Like I would
Mhm.
love a 10-year span of seeing shows like, Mr. Freeze, like
Mhm.
Poison Ivy. Like we can go super deep, and I would take.
Clayface.
I would take. I love Clayface as a character, or Rush. Or what is his name? Rush. I think it's Rush. Like just go ham with some people that may not make it as movie quality solo villains, but
Mhm.
can be side characters in the movies, and then have shows where it's almost a little bit less pressure on them per se, because it's not. I'm not expecting you to have the quality to go up against Batman for a
Mhm.
long time. That's not realistic. But you do cause a lot of problems in Gotham, and therefore stress Batman. And I see why, and I think I really enjoyed that about this show. Just them building up Penguin to kind of like you said, us seeing this is how he became, the Penguin that's now a stressed Batman, from all the way from being a little driver boy.
One before you go, one little tidbit, which I don't know if it's teasing us for the future, and it could be reaching. But I recently found out that the character of Eve, in this show, her name is Eve Carlo. Do you know who she has a last name with? Carlo. Do you know who's also known as Carlo?
Ancelotti in Real Madrid.
No, talk about in the Batman universe.
I'm using that time to Google. Basil Carlo. Clayface.
Carlo. There you go. Eve related to Clayface. I don't know if that means anything, but they didn't have to name her Eve Carlo. They could have named her anything.
Yeah, why did they do that? Now I'm in Reddit.
Why did they pick Carlo? I don't know if that means anything. That sets up anything, but I just thought I would share that knowledge that I just discovered recently. Anyway, on that thought, what do you nerdies think of the Penguin so far? One more episode to go. What are your expectations for the finale? Where would you like to see the future of this franchise go? Find us on social media at The Nerdy Bunch. You can also email us, thenerdybunchpodcast@gmail.com. Also, if you enjoyed this episode and any of our episodes, please give us a thumbs up, a like, star, whatever rating system your podcast entity uses. It gives us a nice way to be recognized. Check out our other podcasts. We are tomorrow, as we record this, tomorrow we're going to record the finale of Agatha All Along. So check that out. And the next coming weeks, Andrew and I we're going to be doing podcasts for Silo, which I'm excited to do, and Dune Prophecy, which I'm also excited for. So check those out and listen for those and a couple of movies.
We're eating good.
Yes, we are eating good. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, David.
My name's English Dave, and this has been a Nerdy Bunch review for The Penguin, episode 7. And as always, Andrew,
keep it nerdy.
Peace.